Everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we're back to the TikTok horror stories. Oh my god, I know y'all been waiting for this. I mean, last week was lit, learning about relationships. We learned a lot. We learned some things. We laughed a lot because we all related. But now we're getting back to the scary. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like, and ring that bell so you'll be notified every time I post a new video. Oh yeah, and I'm just Shawnee. Yeah, you know.
Okay, so if you scared easily, just don't watch this video. So why was I in the kitchen doing the dishes, right? Just doing the dishes, and I hear my sister call my name. She's like, Indira, Indira. And I'm like, yeah, I'm coming, right? So I continue to do the dishes, but I know how my sister is. Like, when she call, I'm coming. So I go in the living room, and I'm like, yeah, like, what happened? She's like, what? I'm like, yeah, what happened? Like, you good? She's like, I didn't call you. I was like, yes, you did. You said Indira, Indira. She's like, no, I didn't call you. I said, stop playing. Because we play a lot. Like, we're a playful family. Like, we play 24/8. She's like, no, for real. I didn't call you. I said, yes, you did. She said, no, I didn't. I didn't call you. And mind you, she said my name clearly. It was clear as day. I know how my sister voice sound. She said, Indira, Indira. Like, what?
Honey, because my first thought was, oh, did she just forget? Did she call your name and just forgot that she did that? Like, oh, you took so long, so I done forgot that I called you. No, that was weird. Because we know about them. We know about them, and it's still iffy. I'm still trying to figure out, how can you tell the difference? How?
My neighbor is a murderer, and now I can finally prove it. I moved into this house about 4 years ago. It's a small town in the middle of nowhere, Indiana. My apartment complex has 8 identical townhomes, and they look identical. If you've ever played The Sims, it's almost like he copy and pasted every single house. Now, I loved my apartment. I was borderline obsessed with it, and it wasn't an insanely nice place or anything, but it was perfect for me. Now, on the day I was moving in, some of the neighbors came out and started greeting me. Just like a nice neighborly welcome. My mom had come with me to help me unpack, and she asked one of the girls, do you like living here? Which I feel like a little late to ask that, mom, but okay. The girl responded and said everyone was pretty normal, it was nice, and it was quiet, except this one neighbor, who of course happened to be my next door neighbor. He rarely came out of his apartment ever, he said, and he always kept his blinds down. But at first I found that I liked my neighbor. He was quiet, he kept to himself, and he didn't cause any problems. But the neighbor across the street was a whole nother story. Like I said, all of these houses were like Sims houses, copy and pasted. My front window, where I could see out and wash my dishes from my sink, faced someone else's front window where they would wash dishes from their sink. Now, I had met the guy across the street on the first day when I moved in. He seemed nice enough, even borderline charming. Now, I'm not saying I creeped on my neighbor, but I kind of creeped on my neighbor. So I started to recognize his routine based on when his light was on in his kitchen window, which I guess sounds creepy when I say it out loud. Anyways, his light was always off during the day and then on during odd hours at night, like 1 a.m., 4 a.m., 3 a.m. And I'm a night owl myself, so I always noticed when it popped on. But I always joked that this guy could have been a vampire or something because only his kitchen light was ever on. Every other light was always off. It started to become an ongoing joke of me and my friends guessing what he did for a living because he was never out. I never saw anyone come and go from his house. And I mean, like, ever. One of my friends was like, he's clearly a serial killer. And I'm like, haha, very funny. But then things started to take a really weird turn. After living there for about 8 months, I finally saw him. Well, the other night it was really nice out, so I decided to sit outside on my porch, which is honestly not something I do often. I did have my dog outside sitting with me, so I felt a little bit safer, but it was a quiet night. It was a full moon, and then my dog started growling, but I wasn't sure what he was growling at. And then I hear a voice say, I didn't know you had a dog. To which I look over and it's the cross the street neighbor. I was just in shock. I couldn't say anything immediately. So then he says, so what are you doing out? Pause. Was this man watching me as much as I was watching him? Could he really be a vampire or a serial killer? I'm honestly not sure which would be worse. Then he just left and went back to his house. Twice I've seen this man in what, 9 months? So then my friend suggested that I Google him. And everything's online these days. When I tell you me and my friends can find anyone on social media, I mean anyone. We could not find this man. So the group chat started speculating, could this man actually be a serial killer? Is he on the run? And boy, did we find our answers.
What was the answer? What was the answer?
If you guys saw my last video, you know my neighbor is a serial killer. The last thing I told you is we could not find this man on social media. So me and my friends started doing surveillance. And I started to notice him at night more frequently. And I even saw what kind of car he drove, which was a black van. Perfect for putting bodies in. And then I noticed on trash days, instead of bringing trash out, he was bringing big bags of something inside. Like, I don't know, bones, body parts. I knew it was only a matter of time before I caught him red-handed. And then a few nights ago, I saw him. And he wasn't alone. He had come home at 2 a.m. and a girl got out of his passenger seat. Now, I know what you're thinking. Charming young man brings a girl home. Totally normal. Totally normal. But he never turned any of his lights on in his home. And I never saw the girl leave. I did only stay up like an hour after because I got tired and I decided to go to bed. But it's not like she would leave at like 3 a.m. So I got up at 6 a.m. and I didn't see her leave the whole day. And this wasn't the first or last girl to show up at his house. But I never saw any of them leave. He would also bring weird tools into his house, like shovels. Who needs more than one shovel? All I know is I'm pretty sure one night he saw me watching him. And the next day, a moving truck was sitting in front of his house and he moved away. I still don't know this guy's name. He doesn't have any social media. He could be America's most wanted.
Honey, what y'all doing? What y'all doing? In that situation, what are y'all doing? The fact that he was there and she wasn't aware that he was there lets you know that he was watching her as much as she was watching him. Because I've had, and it sounds creepy, but I've noticed people, and it's like just a part of being aware of your surroundings. You notice people in their routine and who you see every day and everything. Yeah, that's weird. Because I'm the type of person who is like a vampire. I don't have any lights on. Like, this is a lot for me right now. Like, I usually don't have any lights on. So I understand that, you know, and I pay the light bill. So yeah, we don't have lights on if I have any control over it. But honey, you mean you couldn't find him? You couldn't Google Lens him? I would have snuck a picture. Like, I would have did something. I would have put up cameras. Like, I would have done something. I don't know. I don't know if I... No, because I know I wouldn't mind my business. I would. If I feel like I have a hunch and a gut feeling, oh, no. We're going to figure it out. You know, I'm gonna get somebody involved. I'm gonna definitely be one of those, you know, those old ladies that be in the neighborhood that are real buddy with the cops, but the cops, every time they see the old lady coming in, like, oh, here she go again. She thinks somebody else didn't kill somebody. Like, you know, I would be that person. I definitely would. So yeah, if he was on a most wanted list, I would have definitely found out. Most definitely. So yeah, that was really weird that he just decided to disappear after you didn't see him bring women in but not out, trash bags in but not out, you know, and a black van, you know, your mom, your parents told you not to be beside vans with no windows. Yeah, no, friend, you was on to something. And I'm glad you didn't get got being too much, being all up in his business. You was doing too much. You do all that in the shadows. Like, no, you don't know me, I don't know you, but I do know you. You best believe I'm gonna know you. Yeah, friend, you wildin'.
One of the creepiest, and I mean creepiest, things happened to me the other day. So the other day, I was walking home from doing some shopping, and I noticed that there was this pickup truck that looked a little bit suspicious. As I'm walking home, I started to notice that the same pickup truck that I found to be suspicious was low-key following me. So I'm walking home extremely nervous, and then all of a sudden, this guy comes out of his car, he looks at me and introduces himself to me. And do you know what this guy told me? He looked at me and he told me that he's been following me for a couple of blocks. And I was like, what the hell? And mind you, this was a 50-year-old man, okay? Maybe even in the 60s, I don't know. And then as he's looking at me and telling me this, he then asks me what my age was. And then I told him that I was 15 so that he'd get away from me, but that didn't stop him. In fact, he looked at me and he's like, that's amazing. And I was like, what the hell? And then I had to tell him, like, hey, sorry, I'm too young to date people. And when I tell you, I ran home so quickly after that interaction and that conversation, I was terrified. Some men are so creepy. Like, what's wrong with you?
Honey, we've already talked about old men. She said some men are creepy. Okay. Not even low-key, mid-key, not even mid-key. We're going to get up to high-key. They're very creepy. Oh, man. I don't know if they're aware. Because that's real creepy, friend. He over here and told you. The fact that you even stopped and talked to this person is wild to me. Because, like, stranger danger, I'm not about to talk to you. Like, I'm a type of person, if you see me in public, I'm just being honest. I'm not gonna say nothing to you. I'm gonna have that resting bitch face to let you know don't mess with me because you might get got. Like, I'm not the one to be forking around and trying to find out with. Like, that's just me. That's how we were taught. That's how you was raised. That's how you stay safe. Now after I get to know you, but no, in real life, in public, no, don't talk to me. I'm not going to talk to you. Like, there's like, stop it. You should know by my face. You read my face and let you know. So the fact that she's talking to this person and he had the audacity to say, hey, I've been following you for 2 blocks. First of all, that's not about to happen, because for me, you know, my mom taught me to be aware of my surroundings and always have an escape plan. I know all my safe places. I know all my safe places. Gold's Gym, the fire station. I know where all the police stations. I know where they're all located in my city, hunty. I know where the cops be hanging out. Now in North Carolina, the cops be at Sheets after 8:30. So you best believe I be on my you is not gonna get me. I am prepared so I never get got, honey. So I needed her to be prepared, because you didn't walk 2 blocks. Ain't no way. Ain't no way, because you best believe I'm walking to somebody's house. In that 2-block span, I'm pretty sure there's a school, there's a fire station. I know for a fact that there's a fire station in that 2-block span. There's some safe space in that 2-block span. Like, you get out. Get out. Ain't no way I would have stopped. Once I realized he was following me, once I saw that truck, my eyes would have been on it. Like, I'm so aware. So friend, please be safe, because that was wild. You said the right things, but you shouldn't even had to say anything. Like, in reality, no talking to strangers. Let's just stop there. And I know you had a phone, because what are we doing? We would have been on the phone. If we stopped and talking, we would have been on the phone immediately. Like, somebody follow me. I need you. I'm gonna just send you my location. I just sent it. You got it. Okay, you're listening to this. Are you recording this conversation? You hear this, right? You're on speakerphone. Because please be safe. Please be safe out here, especially these females, because I'm pretty sure he was they just a little bit more creepy. I mean, it's creepier when they're, you know, but it's a little bit more creepier just because of the history. Just because.
2 kids are playing in the living room before falling asleep. After they fall asleep, something pulls one off the sofa.
My son's Halloween costume this year damn near made me shit myself.
Who is it?
June 20th, 2020.
I know I'm a little slow, but that's not an airplane. It's not a rocket. Maybe the dragons have been released. Somebody pissed off Godzilla. I don't know. What the hell is this? Whatever it is, it's shaking my house.
Braylon? Braylon? What's happening with your car?
Them babies be like, why she ask the baby, what's happening with your car? Wait, what? Baby, why you asking me this? I should be asking you this. In fact, you watch it. You figure it out. I'm gonna run this way. I'm gonna run it, because Like, what is happening? Fred, ain't no reason to open up my kitchen drawer unless you putting something in it. It's like, what are you doing? Like, why? She ran so quick, honey. Ran too quick, honey. Actually, that was the appropriate amount of speed. That was the appropriate speed to run away. Cause what? No, stop. That first one though, you saw it glitching in the camera. Y'all remember when we heard those horns? Apparently, it was them doing something with the pipes. Apparently, that's what I heard. I was just like, because y'all remember we had tanks riding down the street, and we was just like, something you're not telling us. It's like, maybe we should get prepared, and she got prepared. Like, honey, what? Stop. Only thing I need to get is I just saw an ad for it. It's a radio, a walkie-talkie radio that's like, it covers up to like 800 miles, and I was just like, oh, definitely need that for my family, definitely, so we can contact each other, because everybody done dropped their landlines now. Everybody got cell phones. Like, the last person in my family dropped their landline. So yeah, get prepared.
I have so many stories that I can tell you, but I think I'm going to tell you about the first time I ever saw a dead person. So I grew up in a really, really haunted house. I heard stuff, I saw, all the time. There was always something going on. And so I would have slumber parties, and we would tell ghost stories, and like everything in the house would, correlate to what we were saying. And everybody thought they were awesome parties until you have to go to sleep in the dark by yourself. So it was a crazy house. And so I didn't know if this was building me up for whatever, but my sister was being born. I'm 8 years old. And this is the first time that I ever spent the night at my grandmother's house. My grandma and grandpa, they were always really, really old from the time, I was little, and we just didn't spend the night there. That wasn't something that we did. And so my sister was being born overnight. And so I spent the night at my grandmother's house. She was sleeping with my grandfather that night, and I slept in her bedroom, in her bed. And I'm having this crazy dream. And to this day, I can still tell you exactly what the dream was. I'm 47 years old, and this happened when I was 8. So that was a long time ago. But I am having this crazy dream, and I wake up, and there's this man standing at the bottom of my bed. And he had on a flannel shirt. He had on like suspenders. To this day, I can tell you exactly what it is that he looked like. And it's, I put the blankets up over my head, and I'm like freaking out, and I didn't know what to do. And so like, I just waited for a little bit, and I pulled him back down, and he was gone. So I went running into my grandmother's room, and I'm like, Grandma, there's somebody in your room. There's somebody in your room. And she said, oh, tell me. And so I said, it was a man. It was an older man. He was in a flannel shirt. Like, he was standing there. And she said, oh, that's okay, honey. That's my dad. He comes to see me all the time. Okay. We did not spend the night at Grandma's house again. But after that time, I did continue seeing dead people.
So what I have a hard time understanding is why people don't relay messages about, oh yeah, this is a frequent visitor that shows themselves. Hey, I'm about to be sleeping here. Don't you think I should know this information? That information should be provided to me so I don't freak out. So I'm in the know too. Like, get out of here. Get out of here, Grandma. You done dropped the ball. This is my first time here. I guess you don't want me to come back. I guess you don't want me to visit. We ain't going to Grandma's house no more with our little riding hood and some treats. We're not going there. No, that's wild, friend. That is wild. Honey, I was blessed to have my grandparents and my great grandparents in my life. So I remember going to spend a night with my great grandparents in country. They had separate rooms. They had separate beds. So when I would go spend the night, I would sleep in my grandma's bed, and she just wouldn't sleep. She just wouldn't. She would be up, or she would sit in the chair and just nod off a little bit, take cat naps, and be back up cleaning and cooking like nothing ever happened. So yeah, if that would ever, well, I was a deep sleeper while I was younger. So yeah, no. That could never be me, because there ain't no reason I'm gonna wake up in the middle of the night. So yeah, no, friend, that was wild. Someone should have let you know. And yeah, at least you got to meet your great grandfather. Y'all check her name, Az Mama. Go follow these creators. They have plenty of stories. They have good stories, as you can see. So please follow these creators. Subscribe.